Now this game is another divisive game, even more divisive than how Mario fans feel with Sunshine. This game is a love and hated game by the fans and community. As for me, I hate to say it, but I kind of fall in a level. I'm more mixed with this than ever. Let's start with my positives. I think I love the idea of 3 characters teaming up. Each of them serves as a different purpose. I mean, with Sonic, you have his speed, Tails with his flight, and Knuckles with his strength. Each team has 3 types of those: strength, power, and hold on, did I say strength, power, flight? Oops, I mean strength, speed, and flight. Ugh. So yeah, and I really like the levels, whether it's Seaside Hill, Ram Metropolis, Mystic Mansion, and even the Egg Fleet. I also really like how this game looks. It really feels like a 2D Sonic game brought into the 3D world. This game is very vibrant and very colorful, I'll give it that. And the soundtrack is so great too. My stats to me are like Seaside Hill, again, Power Plant and Grand Metropolis, Mystic Mansion, the casino levels, even the Egg Fleet, and especially like the Egg Emperor boss fight theme. That's pretty great. The main character themes are very great. I think my favorite has to be like Team Chaotix and Team Sonic. And this is something I should have talked about with Super Mario Sunshine, by the way. This game has great soundtrack, by the way. That's enough for that. And I also played the multiplayer, and it's very fun. Me and my friend played it back when I had this game. We used to play like the racing mode and collecting rings, as well as like the race mode. We also played more the battle mode. In fact, the racing and the battle mode are like the only 2 modes we played the most. That's it. And that's my positives. I think now from my negatives, and I think this is kind of predictable, but I don't like the controls, more specifically for the speed characters, because the power characters, they control very fine. I feel, and that's only because they're more grounded, and while they're not nowhere near as fast as the speed characters, they're just enough to feel more weighty, feel more balanced. With the speed characters, I guess the developers suspect you that you use them for running in a straight line, which is their term purpose, but the problem is though, most people are not going to do it like that. They rather use the speed characters and only the speed characters only, unless they have to like use each type. And while that kind of contradicts the whole level design, which the entire point of the game is to take advantage of each type's abilities, that may not matter to people, because they rather just play as the speed characters. And to me, I think the control's fine for the most part, but at times it really does screw me over. Sometimes I can get under control with the controls, but at the same time, or most of the time, it feels like deaths just catches me unintentionally. Another problem I have with this game, level's length. These stages are long, stupidly long. And this is the part I should mention is each team has different team lengths. Team Sonic are the more medium type. They're the normal difficulty. Their stages are like 8 to 10 minutes or so. Team Roses is like the easy mode, and their stages, they're like 4 to 5 minutes. Team Dark stages, featuring Shadow, Rouge, and Vega, their stages, since they're the hard mode, they're even longer than Team Sonic's, like 10 to 12 minutes. And Team Chaotix, RNG. Now, as for the boss fights, I think they're a nice change of pace. I think for the most part, I think they get the job done, though I really wish there were more of them. But now for the big one, the special stages. They're bad, but they're they're tolerable at the very least. Now, why do I say that to begin with? Well, first off, as long as you know what to do, they're not as bad, but they're still bad. For starters, what is up with the controls? Like, seriously, it feels like you're on ice the entire time. It feels like a slippery mess. And that's what absolutely annoy me. When I first play Sonic Heroes, when I try to get all the Chaos Emeralds, the special stages, especially the last one, can go, are infuriating. Because A, bombs. 2, the controls. Slippery controls. And B, on top of that, you had to click these orbs to go fast. Here's a tip. Don't mash the boost button, just hold it down and slightly tilt the analog stick, because if you do that, it's more effective. Now, I kinda knew this trick before going into this game, but still, that doesn't excuse from the horrible special stages. I'd rather take Sonic 2's half-pipe special stages over this, but yeah, Sonic Heroes, it's alright. I don't think it's people, I don't think it's bad like people make it out to be, but I wouldn't exactly call it my personal favorite Sonic game. At best, it could barely make it to the top 10. So, this game is decent. It's at least tolerable if you give it a chance. It's at least tolerable if you give it a chance. And speaking of games that are not tolerable or tolerable,